Did you know that the UAE's real estate industry grew so fast that by 2007, 1 out of every 5 construction cranes in the world were in Dubai? But how did the property business go from desert to skyscrapers in such little time? Well, we have some serious power players to thank for that. So stick around to learn about the moguls driving UAE's real estate sector forward and how they did it. Emaar Properties, the mastermind behind the world's tallest building. Let's start with Emaar Properties, the powerhouse behind some of Dubai's most iconic developments. Founded in 1997 by Mohammed Al-Abar, a man whose name is practically synonymous with Dubai's rapid transformation. Emaar's mission was clear from the start: to put Dubai on the global map. And honestly, if you're familiar with Dubai, you know they've done that in ways that are just mind-blowing. So, what does it take to create a global real estate giant from scratch in one of the harshest deserts on Earth? Well, it takes vision, ambition, and frankly, a fair amount of audacity. Well, Al-Abar had all of that. At the time of Emaar's inception, Dubai wasn't the glitzy international playground we see today. Instead, it was still very much a developing city with big dreams and even bigger challenges. But Al-Abar saw something many didn't: the potential for Dubai to be a global hub for trade, tourism, and luxury living. His big gamble? Transforming the city into a world-class destination with some of the most ambitious real estate projects ever conceived. And one of those projects is none other than the Burj Khalifa. Now, you've probably heard of it. How could you not? Standing at a staggering 828 meters tall, the Burj Khalifa isn't just a building, it's a statement. It's the tallest man-made structure on Earth. You could fit more than 20 giraffes stacked on top of each other and still have room to spare. But here's the kicker: it wasn't just about the height. The Burj Khalifa was designed to showcase what's possible when the limits of architecture, engineering, and human ambition collide. When it opened in 2010, it wasn't just a triumph for Emaar, it was a triumph for Dubai and the UAE. People from all over the world now looked at Dubai and saw a place where the impossible could become reality. It put Dubai firmly on the map as a global center of innovation and luxury. Not too shabby for a city that started out with nothing but sand. But Emaar didn't stop there. Oh no, the Burj Khalifa was just the tip of the iceberg. The Dubai Mall is another prime example of Emaar's game-changing developments. Opened in 2008, the Dubai Mall is not only one of the largest shopping malls in the world, it's also home to an indoor aquarium, an ice rink, and a virtual reality park. I mean, who needs to leave the mall when you can go scuba diving in an aquarium or break a sweat on the ice rink? It's a shopper's paradise, yes, but it's also an entertainment hub in its own right. It boasts over 1,200 retail stores, making it a haven for anyone who enjoys shopping till they drop. As for the indoor aquarium, it holds over 33,000 marine animals and is one of the largest suspended aquariums in the world. The mall even has an entire section dedicated to fine dining, with some of the most lavish restaurants in Dubai. It's a space where luxury meets leisure, and it's all thanks to Emaar's vision of creating something bigger than just a shopping center. However, Emaar's influence doesn't end with these mega projects. Their impact on the luxury real estate market in Dubai is immense. With a portfolio spanning everything from residential properties to massive commercial developments, Emaar has shaped the city's real estate landscape. Take the iconic Dubai Marina, for instance. While it's often associated with other developers, Emaar had a hand in transforming the entire area, which today is one of the most sought-after places to live and work in Dubai. And let's not forget their role in the development of downtown Dubai, a 500-acre area that's home to landmarks like the Burj Khalifa, the Dubai Mall, and Dubai Opera. It's a place where people come to experience Dubai in its most luxurious form, and it's all part of Emaar's master plan. But here's the thing about Emaar: they aren't content with just creating high-end properties. They've made sure that their developments serve as fully integrated urban spaces. Whether it's a luxury hotel, a residential tower, or an office space, everything Emaar builds is designed with one thing in mind: a complete lifestyle experience. That's why many of their projects, like Dubai Creek Harbor, don't just focus on building structures. They focus on creating entire neighborhoods with green spaces, retail areas, and world-class amenities. Of course, no company is without its challenges, and Emaar is no exception. The 2008 global financial crisis hit Dubai hard, and like many others, Emaar felt the sting. Some of their projects stalled, and there were tough times ahead. But here's the thing about Emaar. They've always bounced back. In fact, the company's resilience is a big part of why it continues to dominate the UAE's real estate market today. By adjusting to the changing market conditions and continuing to innovate, Emaar has cemented its reputation as a global real estate leader. It's also important to note that Emaar's leadership is still deeply involved in the business. Mohammed Alabar has continued to steer the company's growth, ensuring that it remains at the forefront of real estate development in Dubai. Under his leadership, the company has expanded its reach beyond the UAE, with developments in countries like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and India. When you think about Dubai, you can't help but think about the sheer scale of its developments, and Emaar's influence in shaping that skyline is undeniable. The Burj Khalifa might get all the glory, but the entire Emaar portfolio speaks to a much larger story. In case you didn't know, Dubai's rise as a global real estate capital is in many ways a direct result of Emaar's ability to push the limits of what's possible. It's no surprise that when people think of Dubai, they often think of the dazzling structures that Emaar created, structures that continue to inspire awe and ambition worldwide. Damac Properties, luxury living with a side of Trump. Now, if you're looking for over-the-top jaw-dropping luxury in the UAE real estate scene, then you've probably heard of Damac Properties. Founded by the one and only Hussein Sajwani in 2002, Damac didn't just make a name for itself, it went straight to the top. It didn't take long for Damac to establish itself as a major player in Dubai's booming real estate market. And when I say luxury, I mean serious luxury. Think Versace-designed apartments, Bugatti-branded interiors, and homes that make you feel like you've stepped into a high-end fashion runway rather than just a place to live. It's the kind of place where you don't just throw a party, you throw a galaxy of parties. To understand how this all came together, we have to take a step back and look at the genius behind the empire, Hussein Sajwani. Born in 1952 in the United Arab Emirates, Hussein didn't exactly come from a background of billionaires and flashy cars. In fact, his father ran a shop selling goods from China, and Sajwani spent some time learning how business works the hard way. But this guy had something rare: vision. He understood that the real estate market in Dubai was going to explode, and he wasn't going to miss the chance to capitalize on it. So, in 2002, he founded Damac Properties, and he wasted no time in turning it into a luxury powerhouse. While many companies were playing catch-up, Sajwani saw a unique gap in the market. In an area where towering skyscrapers were going up every other day, Sajwani thought, why not do it in style? Instead of just building homes, he wanted to create places where the ultra-wealthy could live in the lap of luxury, surrounded by the world's most recognized brands. And he didn't shy away from spending big to make that vision come true. And what better way to make a home feel extraordinary than with a touch of Versace or Bugatti? I mean, can you imagine stepping into your home and walking on floors designed by Versace? Yes, that Versace. From the floor tiles to the walls, every detail is crafted by the luxury fashion brand. It's not a home anymore. It's a living, breathing piece of art. And don't even get me started on the Bugatti-branded apartments. We're talking interiors that scream high-performance luxury, with the same sleekness and elegance you'd expect from the iconic car manufacturer. For most people, luxury means a fancy car or a really nice watch. But for the residents of Damac's developments, it means living in a space designed by the same brands that make you feel like a celebrity when you wear their clothes or drive their cars. It's the next level of living, something that only the top 1% of the 1% get to experience. And let's face it, that's the dream, right? But wait, it doesn't end with just luxury interiors and famous brand names. Oh no, my friend. Damac went one step further and got into bed with none other than Donald Trump himself. Yep, the President of the United States and real estate mogul joined forces with Hussein Sajwani to create a series of golf courses and resorts that scream class and opulence. The first project in this partnership was the Trump International Golf Club in Dubai, which opened in 2017. Imagine playing 18 holes, surrounded by luxury villas, fountains, and manicured gardens in the middle of the desert. It's like hitting the links in a place that's been custom-built to cater to the world's elite. It's not your typical golf course, that's for sure. This one is designed to make you feel like you're part of an exclusive club, where the only requirement is that you have money to burn. But it's not just about the golf course itself. The whole area around it is a luxury oasis. Damac built sprawling villas, upscale townhouses, and apartments with golf course views, all designed to make you feel like you're living in the lap of luxury. Imagine sipping champagne while watching a private golf tournament from the comfort of your mansion. Or, better yet, have a round of golf with some of your celebrity friends, and then retreat to your Bugatti-branded living room afterward. Does it get any better than that? So far, Damac's projects have been largely centered around Dubai. But as with any successful company, the next logical step was expansion, and expand they did. Damac has taken its luxury brand and built developments in countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan, and Lebanon. They've even set their sights on markets further away, including the United Kingdom. In fact, Damac's London development, a high-rise luxury tower, was designed to make a mark on the British real estate scene, further cementing their status as global luxury providers. And the best part? Their international expansions aren't about settling for mediocrity. No, these projects are designed to impress, to show the world that Damac is not just a Dubai-based company. It's a global luxury force. Now, let's be real for a second. With all this luxury comes a bit of controversy. Damac, like many real estate companies in the UAE, has been accused of contributing to the growing inequality in the region. Some argue that while these lavish developments bring in loads of cash, they also leave behind a large portion of the population who can't afford a single square foot of this luxury. And then there's the environmental impact of building these massive projects in the desert. But hey, that's the price of progress, right? So what's next for Damac? Well, if you think they've reached their peak, think again. There are already rumors of even more collaborations with high-end luxury brands, and with Dubai constantly evolving, there's always room for another over-the-top development. Expect more golf courses, more luxury apartments, and more projects that make you feel like you're living in a world of wealth and excess. You can be certain that Damac isn't slowing down anytime soon. They'll continue to redefine what luxury living means. The question is, are you ready to live in a place where your floor tiles are designed by Versace and your golf course was built by Donald Trump? Because if you are, Damac has just the place for you. Nakheel Properties, turning the sea into real estate. When you think of Dubai, one of the first things that probably comes to mind is the Palm Jumeirah. And if it doesn't, it should. Nakheel Properties took the concept of thinking outside the box to an entirely new level when they decided, hey, why not just make our own land? Yeah, you heard that right. They literally turned the sea into real estate. Because who needs a traditional plot of land when you can create an island that's visible from space? It's like the ultimate mic drop in the world of real estate. But let's back up for a second. The year is 2001. Dubai's already famous for being a global luxury destination. But there's one little problem: space. With skyscrapers already stretching into the clouds and resorts packed into every corner, they were running out of room to build. So, what do you do when you've got no more land left to build on? Simple. You go ahead and build your own. And that's exactly what Nakheel did. The Palm Jumeirah wasn't just a bold project. It was a monumental one. This was no ordinary beachfront property development. It was a mega engineering feat that took the shape of a palm tree, with a trunk, fronds, and a crescent-shaped breakwater surrounding it. If this doesn't scream, we're doing things differently, then I don't know what does. Nakheel Properties, led by CEO Ali Rashid Luda, created an entire island using reclaimed land from the sea. Yeah, they just scooped up sand from the ocean floor, packed it tight, and voila, an island was born. It's like building your own little slice of paradise, but on steroids. The idea was simple: create a massive, upscale residential and tourist hub right in the heart of Dubai's coastline. And by doing that, Nakheel didn't just add more space, they completely transformed the city's identity. The Palm Jumeirah added miles of pristine beachfront property where luxury villas, hotels, resorts, and private homes could be built. And if you thought that was impressive, just wait until you hear about the sheer size of it. This island is so big that it's got its own zip code. Seriously, you could fit a couple of regular-sized islands into the space it occupies. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sure, an island sounds cool, but how do you actually make it work? Well, Nakheel didn't exactly pull this off overnight. It was years of planning, expert engineering, a massive amount of patience, and of course, very deep pockets. Construction on the Palm Jumeirah started in 2001, and by the time it was officially completed in 2006, the project had cost billions of dollars. But for Nakheel, it was a calculated risk that paid off big time. When the island was finally ready to be sold, it attracted the world's wealthiest investors, from international billionaires to celebrities. You won't believe it, but the real estate prices on the Palm Jumeirah were sky high from the very beginning. People couldn't get enough of this shiny, man-made gem sitting off the coast of Dubai. So, what exactly did Nakheel build on this island? Well, everything a person could dream of. On the trunk of the palm, you'll find high-end apartments and luxury villas, while the fronds are lined with even more exclusive properties. It's got world-class hotels and resorts, some of which are owned by the biggest names in the hospitality business. Ever heard of Atlantis the Palm? Of course you have. That's one of Nakheel's crown jewels, offering underwater suites and an aquatic-themed water park. And because it's Dubai, there's no shortage of jaw-dropping amenities: private beaches, spas, gourmet restaurants, and even marinas. It's like living in a luxury playground where everything is designed to spoil you rotten. But wait, Nakheel didn't just stop at the Palm Jumeirah. Of course not. They took the whole create-your-own-land concept to the next level with the Palm Jebel Ali and Palm Deira. While the Palm Jumeirah may have been their flagship project, Nakheel wasn't about to let the success of one island slow them down. Palm Jebel Ali, which is even bigger than Palm Jumeirah, was initially planned to follow the same palm tree shape. Sadly, due to the 2008 financial crisis, this project was put on hold. But it's not entirely off the table. And then there's Palm Deira, which was going to be even larger. Nakheel definitely had big plans to dominate the Dubai coastline. Now, if you think Nakheel's obsession with artificial islands is just a one-off, think again. In fact, the company has been involved in a ton of other developments in Dubai, from the World Islands, another man-made archipelago shaped like a world map, to the Dubai waterfront, which would have been the largest waterfront development on the planet. These projects reflect Nakheel's unapologetic approach to pushing the limits of what's possible in construction. But as bold and grand as these projects are, they aren't without controversy. There's been some serious environmental concern about these artificial islands, with critics arguing that such massive construction in the sea could harm marine life. You may think that creating islands in the middle of the ocean sounds like a recipe for disaster, and in some ways, it's hard to argue with that. Still, Nakheel made sure to go all out in terms of sustainability, using special techniques to keep the marine ecosystem as intact as possible. But let's be real here. The overall impact is hard to ignore. Regardless of the debates, there's no denying the success of Nakheel and its game-changing Palm Jumeirah. The project has completely reshaped Dubai's landscape, both literally and figuratively. It put Dubai on the world stage as a beacon of innovation, showcasing just how far the city is willing to go to stand out in the global real estate market. The Palm Jumeirah quickly became a symbol of the UAE's ambition, wealth, and forward-thinking mentality. It's an island that's practically synonymous with luxury and opulence. And if you haven't been there yet, you're seriously missing out on one of the world's greatest architectural wonders. But I can't blame you, 'cause really, this place is for the richest among the rich. Now, you can expect that Nakheel has more projects up their sleeve, and they'll continue to stake their claim as a real estate powerhouse in the UAE. Whether it's creating more islands or transforming Dubai's skyline, they're constantly on the move. For Nakheel, the sky's the limit, but they'd probably prefer to just build a few more islands and keep going. So, next time you think about the UAE's real estate moguls, remember Nakheel and the Palm Jumeirah, a story of turning the impossible into reality. Danube Properties, from building materials to dream homes. Next up is Danube Properties, the real estate company that believes if you're good at something, you might as well take it to the next level. What started in 1993 as a small business supplying building materials soon blossomed into one of the biggest real estate powerhouses in the UAE. But it didn't happen overnight. It took vision, guts, and a knack for seeing opportunities where others didn't. The company's founder, Rizwan Sajan, was already a successful businessman when he decided to take a leap from selling building materials to developing entire communities. I mean, if you've been in the construction industry for a while, why not roll up your sleeves and start building your own stuff, right? And so, Danube Properties was born. At first, you might think, okay, cool, they supply materials. So what? Well, here's the thing. Danube had the inside scoop. They didn't just know how to build, They knew what worked. By having access to top-quality materials at lower prices, they gained a huge edge when they eventually ventured into real estate development. They were able to offer homes that were not only stylish, but also affordable, two things that are rarely seen together in the UAE's often extravagant property market. And trust me, that wasn't easy. So, what makes Danube properties stand out from the crowd? Well, for starters, their homes are designed to be luxurious without being over the top. They figured out that people want to live in a beautiful space, but they don't always want to sell a kidney to afford it. That's where their unique approach to affordability comes in. You've probably heard of the phrase luxury for all, but Danube made it their mantra. They found a way to make high-quality, high-end homes accessible to a broader range of buyers. It wasn't just about flashy designs or marble floors. It was about making people feel like they were getting a piece of the high life without the financial stress. And let's talk about their game-changing 1% payment plan. This is where they really shook things up. Normally, in real estate, you'd expect to make a huge down payment, followed by payments that feel like you're financing a spaceship. But not with Danube. They introduced a 1% payment plan that allows buyers to secure a home with only 1% of the total cost up front. Can you believe that? Home ownership became possible for a whole new group of people who never thought they'd be able to get into the market. It's like Danube said, "Hey, you want a home? Well, here's a way to make it happen." And just like that, they opened the door for more people to invest in their dream homes. But it doesn't stop at the payment plan. Danube Properties has been responsible for some of the most impressive residential developments in Dubai, including the stunning Dreams by Danube and Skies by Danube communities. These aren't just places to live, they're destinations. Think luxurious apartments, modern amenities, and designs that make you feel like you're living in a five-star hotel. But, and this is key, without the crazy price tags that typically come with such lavish living. Whether it's their high-rise buildings or expansive communities, Danube manages to nail that sweet spot where luxury meets affordability. It's no wonder that they've become one of the go-to developers in Dubai. But it's not just about the homes themselves. Danube also puts a strong emphasis on community. Each of their developments has been carefully planned to ensure that residents feel like they're part of something bigger. They focus on providing a range of amenities, from fitness centers and swimming pools to children's play areas and green spaces, so that families can enjoy a comfortable, well-rounded lifestyle. Now, you might be wondering how a company that started with just building materials managed to grow this big. The answer is simple. Besides understanding the market and knowing how to pivot, Danube was all about the people. And if you win the people's hearts, you can't lose. While others were scrambling to build luxury estates for the super elite, Danube saw a huge gap in the middle class. They realized there was a massive demand for affordable, stylish homes that didn't break the bank. And they seized that opportunity like a pro. So, what other moguls would you say made a strong statement in the UAE real estate sector? Tell us in the comments below and subscribe to the channel.